I don't know how to do this stuff. Do you know how to do this? I don't know how to do this. Yeah. Explain it to me. I really learned how to do this. There's a printer right here.
No, you need it to, I don't know.
Because I didn't really know how to do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, your officials for tonight's game. Head referee Mark Charette, umpire Warren Burrell, down judge Pascal Beaulieu, line judge Al Gates, and field judge Patrick Esterbrooks. At this time, we ask you to please rise if you're willing and able, and welcome Paul Buston as we sing our national anthem.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour, mes amis. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. Messieurs, dames, s'il vous plaît, veuillez vous joindre à moi pour chanter. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, to painted love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fredericton for our last game of the 2024 Women's National Championship of Day 1 as we watch Team Ontario Red take on hosts New Brunswick. So, as we get set up here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
So, just a quick note, Coach T reached out again. Very exciting for Team Ontario here. Coach Carley, also a coach with U of T at the OUA, is the head coach, and the first time in Ontario women's football history where the head coach is female. So awesome to see that from Ontario here with the female head coach. A lot of great growth in that province when it comes to football across the board, especially in the women's sector. And I've got a connection to this. Let me see if I'm right here. See if we can find, where's the quarterback? Isabelle Bérubé, wearing number 40, the quarterback for Team Ontario Red, hailing from my alma mater, École Secondaire Catholique Algonquin. Head coach Ryan Desbiens, doing great things in North Bay with Algonquin. Isabelle plays with the boys, and I've seen her play, and let me tell you, she is a weapon on that field. So somebody to watch out for this game.
Welcome to our fourth game, quarterfinal. Winner of this game will play Team Quebec for an opportunity to go to the gold medal game.
fielded by number 7, Jill Peterson-Bonspiel. She's got
Getting
room.
outside.
She's
got a
got
chance. There we go. All right, so you'll see a lot of fans from Ontario, a lot of fans from New Brunswick. Fredericton, New Brunswick, folks, being the host nation, they are the away team in tonight's game. And the underdogs, they will start with the ball first. I am Bobby McIntyre. This is John Wilkinson.
Happy to be here. Having a lot of fun today. Watching some great football, talking football with Bobby.
Please feel free to jump on chat at any point in time and get involved and tell us some stories about your proud athletes.
Would love to hear it. Alexia Brazeau limited on first down to about a yard there. We'll be saying Alexia's name a lot, as a lot of the offense goes through her and Jana
McAllister.
That's right, Jet Sweep Jana. And then if the nickname doesn't give it away, she is dangerous on the jet sweeps.
Yeah, dangerous in general. If they can get those two going, then there's a good chance for New Brunswick.
That's right.
There's Brazeau.
As we
tackled.
can see,
Wow, look at that,
Ontario,
53.
The defensive lineman.
Kellyanne Sterling Godot, a defensive lineman out of École Secondaire Catholique de Brun in Brun, Ontario.
Nice.
Little French connection there.
Absolutely. But if you notice their ends, they're sitting them out. It looks like in 12-a-side, we call it a 7, being that far outside of the tackles. They know what New Brunswick's bringing to the table. They know New Brunswick likes to get to the outside and turn the game into a track meet.
So we have ourselves a punt situation here, 3rd down and 9 for Team New Brunswick. Lots of
Looks like
time.
New Brunswick.
Decent little punt. Now we got to cover. New Brunswick, fan out.
And that's dangerous. She's
Could
got
get
room.
caught. Touchdown! Oh, it depends on the spot.
Touchdown
Team Ontario. Big return by
Katie Foley out of Sydenham Secondary School in beautiful Kingston, Ontario.
Yeah. Home of the Queens.
Queens Golden Gales.
Gives you wings.
There you go. Bobby is upgraded from coffee to Red Bull.
Yeah. Fourth game of the day, folks. Here we go.
Right.
All right. If you're New Brunswick, you got to flush it, shake it off.
That's
it's all
right.
good. It's going to happen. Your coverage team just trying to, sometimes you got to keep that girl bottled up. But, hey, sometimes they make plays too. So flush it, move on.
Ontario.
Good block there.
Block.
There you go.
There
Great
you
job.
go.
So keep it to 6-0. Now, if you're Ontario, get back, or if you're New Brunswick, recollect your thoughts.
That's
get
right.
ready for kickoff return. Try to break a big one here.
Noticing on the Team Ontario, a Cora Colts helmet, which is a staple on most Ontario teams, hailing from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Who do we got there? That's number 32, Robin Price. Sault Ste. Marie's Cora Colts, an absolute powerhouse of a high school program.
So the winner, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the winner of this game will face the loser of the previous game, which is Team Quebec. The loser of this game will be relegated to the consolation round. The loser of Game 4 will play the winner of Game 1. So that would be the loser of this game will play the National Indigenous
That's right.
women's team, which was an absolute impressive showing from them, putting up 32 points on Team Ontario and getting their first ever win. Kickoff is by Ontario.
So regardless of result for these two teams, pretty tough matchup on
Brazeau.
day 2. Brazeau. There's 32. Price from the Cora Colts with the tackle.
So Alexia runs into Cora.
Right there, Robin Price.
Yeah, sorry, Robin Price. First and 10, Team New Brunswick. The quarterback for Team New Brunswick is Kylie Cormier out of Harrison Trimble High School.
Harrison Trimble, good showing on the U18 boys team as well. Plenty of Trojans on that team making their presence felt all Canada Cup. Let's see if Kaylee does the same here.
So they shut down run Team Ontario did on the first series. Like you said, with that wide end, it's 7 in this case, and 12 would be 9. The keep is to the quarterback, and nobody blocked number 53. That's Kayleen Sterling Godot, 5'11".
Is she out of Burlington?
5'11". She is out of Embrun, Ontario.
Embrun, that's right.
Yeah, the
okay.
École Secondaire.
For some reason, they had the vibes of a Burlington girl.
Yeah.
There was
What I know is she's 5'11" and has made 2 plays in the backfield that are exceptional. So if you're not going to block that backside end, you're going to be in big trouble if you're Team New Brunswick.
That's right.
Here we go.
Heavy motion.
Jana and Brazeau flip out. Passes up. It's
Intercepted by number 11. That's
Elise Daniel.
Elise Daniel out of St. Aloysius Gonzago Secondary School. What a mouthful that school's name.
Mississauga, Ontario. So so it's comedy of errors there. We've thrown it to the other team. So there's a little bit of pressure there, but the ball, like Brazeau is open, just put it on her.
That's
so
right.
that one sailed. So sometimes when the quarterback sets their shoulders and they dip that back shoulder, the ball tends to sail. So that's what happened there from the delivery by Kelly Cormier. Ontario back to work. Give us to Ilana Langiano.
Jill Peterson-Bonspiel and Hannah Dedham on the tackle.
Brought down by a couple of New Brunswick defenders. That'll bring up the second down.
So in warm-up, it looked to be number 40, Isabelle Berube at quarterback for Team Ontario, and that is indeed who it is.
That's right.
Watching her in warm-up, she throws some nice balls.
She absolutely does.
So Leanna Langiano, motion from 18, Tegan Roy.
Ball's on the ground.
Get it, New Brunswick. There we
Picked
go.
up by
That's the
New
momentum
Brunswick.
change you need. So you live. That's what you got to do. You got to capitalize on those errors. So it's all
Starters
about
on that defense. Who picked that ball up, Bobby?
that was. Well, I'm gonna have to see the replay, John. I didn't see who fell on it. We'll watch the. Here it is. So the exchange is bobbled here. They're trying to hit the jet, and
who
it's
else?
late.
Emma Bradley of the fumble recovery. Emma Bradley, a veteran on this team. Her third year with the team, actually.
So that was number 3. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Out of Simons, Willow Grove, New Brunswick, just outside of St. John. All right. So 3 down linemen.
Single back with an H to the boundary. Quarterback's going to keep it. Not much there. 53.
Guess who? Sterling Godot.
Early candidate for Defensive Player of the Game for Ontario. She is everywhere making tackles.
Yeah, 5'11", that's a lot to block. So, I mean, the undersized guard, and right here you got Sarah Kennedy, who's a wide receiver for Team New Brunswick, set in there at guard, although it came from backside, so it's that backside pressure again. It's out to Brazeau.
Ball's on the turf.
That may have been a forward pass.
Oh,
it was indeed a forward pass. Yeah,
calling that
she
incomplete.
pitched it forward, so that counts. And that's really good news for Team New Brunswick.
That'll be third down.
All right, so here we go. So snap is in the hands. Quarterback just dropped it. That one's on the cue. And the pitch to Brazeau. Now, they might have got away with a forward pass there when it might have been a lateral, but that's all right. The Zebras decided to do that, and New Brunswick lives for third down and 9.
Brunswick with the punt
So,
coming up here.
it's all about the contain. This is the one who housed it last time.
That's right.
That's Katie Foley back there from Sydenham Secondary in Kingston. She's going to have an opportunity to return this one, too.
Looks like
Making moves. New Brunswick has to tackle.
gang tackle. Looks
There
like
we
they
go.
stopped her around the 44, 43-yard line. Wait for the spot. But yeah, Ontario's not even sending pressure to block the kick. They're saying, punt us the ball, we dare you, we're going to make you pay with the return.
Yeah, so if you're Team New Brunswick, you collect your breath on the sidelines, you regroup, you say ball security, let's execute the plays.
That's
this
right.
is why we practice. And defensively, hey, let's go cause another fumble.
That's right.
There it is, quarterback keep.
Barry Bay with the carry. She gets the edge. She's got more room, runs out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, so that's a contain issue. New Brunswick is having some contain issues on the outside.
That's right.
Berube pulled it, so they're going to play that little game with Leanna Langiano. Again, if we're pronouncing Langiano wrong, let us know.
Please. Curious as to why quarterback wearing number 40. Not a traditional number for a quarterback, but we love to see it. Love to see the traditions mixed up there. So
Yeah,
if anybody,
when you're throwing the ball and running the ball, eligibility doesn't really matter.
That's
so
right.
You can wear whatever you want.
if anybody's got a story as to why Isabel's wearing number 40, would love to hear that in the chat. High snap.
Fake to Langiano, passes
Ball's out.
deep
She's got somebody
behind the
open.
defender.
Wide open,
Number-
18.
yeah, touchdown.
Ontario.
So we watch this replay here. So if you're number 7, you're Peyton Rogers, you're the defensive back out of Riverview High School. You're about a yard behind your defender. You need to find that hip.
That's
The issue here, the ball's in the air, you're watching the ball, and you're not getting to the trail hip of the defender. So that's what we call a coverage breakdown, and you'll see it on the replay. Great ball by the quarterback. Here it is. So look at the eyes in the backfield from number 7 right here. She's staring at the ball and not finding her defender. If she finds her defender first, she's in good position. That's a coaching thing that hopefully the defensive back coach, defensive coordinator for Team New Brunswick can let her know.
In phase, out of phase, something I preach to my players all the time. If you are out of phase, it means you cannot touch that player, and your only job should be able to get close enough.
There you go. Blocked. It's a pitch. It's a live ball. That's going to be a one-point conversion. It's not done. Now, the thing that's interesting is that the holder was on her knees when she caught that, but didn't place the ball. So I think they're going to blow this dead, John. If not, they're hypocrites. You should be able to. Let's see what coach or ref Al Gates says. Are we going to call it good? They are calling it good. Okay, so they're giving the holder the benefit of the doubt. The holder grabbed that on her knees. So normally that gets blown dead unless you're holding it.
That's right.
Right? So normally on a fake flip, you're supposed to get off your knees unless you're holding the ball, right? So that's interesting that they let that slide, right? Seems like a bit of a double standard.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
So, if you're Nick Murray, that's why Nick Murray's kind of chasing the refs, being like, okay.
Yeah.
So watch this. Here we go. So the knees down, never gets up, stays on her knees, and then flips it. That should be a dead ball.
That should be.
And a safety issue, honestly. Because they're lucky that holder didn't get decked.
That's right. So, mistakes made on all sides of the ball, including the third team on the field. The officials, no worries there as we move on. Ontario with a 13-0 lead, 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Let's see what New Brunswick can do with the ball here. We're going to need to be a little more efficient here if New Brunswick wants to get the field down.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, the ball down the field.
Said it should have been, you got to hang with Ontario early. You got to make them work for everything they've got.
Right.
Canada Cup games, especially when you're the underdog, it's not about letting it snowball into 20, 30, 40 points.
That's
so
right.
New Brunswick, lots of time left in this game. Just take a deep breath and let's get a good return here.
Ontario with the kick. It's a
Deep
nice
kick,
one.
beautiful kick. All right, Brazeau's caught it clean
By
with some
Brazeau.
momentum. There goes Brazeau, runs into her own. A very bizarre tackle there. It might have been by the back of the shoulder pads, so that is a legal tackle as long as you don't go inside the horse collar.
Right.
It's kind of hard when there's hair blocking the horse collar.
That's right, yeah.
I'm actually not sure, John, if you do pull someone down by their ponytail,
It's
I believe it's legal.
it is. It's
Yeah, because
you have
it's a
choice.
part of the
That's
body.
right.
Now it would hurt for sure.
Now, what I think
to
I've
be
heard
pulled
most
down by the
coaches
hair.
say for women's tackle football is, hey, get the hair tucked up in there. But we know for some of the girls with longer hair, it's a little tougher. So
I would say it's frowned upon, but it's not illegal.
that's right.
All right, so we have 3 down linemen. Brazeau sets into the right. Motion is to Jana McAllister. Fake. So that's an interesting call to let Kaylee Cormier run with the football. You've got Jana there, you've got Brazeau there, and you decide to run your quarterback. So they believe in Kaylee Cormier's ability to run. So it's just the holes aren't there. And look, guess what? 53 sliding backside, putting that pressure on, and then front side tackle was made by 14. Was it 11? Number 11.
Number 11.
So that's Khalees Daniel out of St. Aloysius Gonzago Secondary School.
That's a fun one to say. Here it comes.
Fake is to Jana. Cormier keeps it. Oh,
53 again is
so
eating.
it is positive yards for New Brunswick, but it's not chunk yardage. It's 3 or 4 down ball. That might be okay, but in 3 down ball, we're struggling to move the chains.
I'll tell you what, if Ontario keeps punishing New Brunswick like that on those 3 down carries, that's not going to last very long.
Yeah. So the good news is, if you're Team New Brunswick, you have an opportunity to punt, try to get the ball across center, and contain, and then you got to play some defense.
Yeah, she picked it up.
So it's just the center moving
illegal
the ball.
procedure.
Yeah. So we see this at every tournament. The centers come down, they pick up the ball where it's been spotted, and they move it. Usually a flag thrown on that. Sometimes they give a warning, but there must have been a warning earlier in the game that we missed.
So split to our right, I would say that's probably the national indigenous team watching closely.
Taking the team in.
They will play the loser of this game, and the winner of that game tomorrow will go to 5th place.
That's right.
And the winner of this game today will play in the semifinals and cannot finish lower than 4th.
Punt is
Okay,
dropped on the turf.
Clear ball for New Brunswick. Jumps on it. That's the touchdown, Katie Foley. Touchdown recipient.
So I'm happy to also say that offensive coordinator Olivier Eddy will be joining us at halftime to do a quick interview and
I'm
talk
so
about
excited.
that historic win for the
Stick
national
around,
Indigenous team.
Olivier. Stick around for Olivier.
All right, Ontario once again starting off with the ball in New Brunswick side of the field. We'll see what Barry Bay dials up here.
All right. So 1 down lineman for New Brunswick. They're going with 3 linebackers and blitzing off the edge. Ball's out. Just a little high, but wide open. That would have been trouble for New Brunswick. Good news is the quarterback missed. So on the stat sheet, it still counts as an incompletion.
That's right.
So interesting call here, John, to go with 1 down lineman. So there's someone just kind of split in a zero technique, we'd call it, just shaded over the center and trying to put pressure there. And then it's kind of a 1-3, we would say. 1 defensive line and 3 linebackers.
Yeah.
I think the idea is you never know who's going to blitz. So
That's
the 2
right.
outside linebackers, you're not sure who's going to go. So 44 went on the last play. Let's see who goes here.
Those
Put pressure on the
linebackers-
quarterback. So it's the middle linebacker is going on this time.
They'll drop the other. Oh,
Okay.
ball's out, wide open.
Got to make a tackle here.
18
And the
with
tackle is
reception.
made by 23. Is that Micaiah Young? Yes, it is. So Micaiah is a very young, rightfully so. So Micaiah is actually only going into grade 10. So that is an athlete who made this team at a very young age and has a very bright future in this sport.
That's right. And that was Tegan Roy on the reception at St. Mark's High School. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe St. Mark's is one of the only programs in Ontario that actually has a varsity girls football team that plays through the
Now,
school.
if you're Team New Brunswick, you need to get up there. It's 3rd and short. You need to get up there. There they go. QB gives it. Got to get in there.
There we go.
It's depending on the spot. I think they
Looking
did
like
get the
it's gonna be a
first,
first,
but
yeah.
by about a half a yard. Coach Nick wants it to be a stop, but an immediate signal, not even a measurement.
Clear
He's
bias by
he's
some
not
commentators.
biased though. He's not biased.
We are definitely not biased, as we hope both teams play well, and regardless of the
No.
result.
Coach Nick is biased.
No,
yeah.
I'm talking in the chat.
Oh
here.
yeah.
Guys, if we're saying "our" or "my," that's just a force of habit. We are we are
So-
biased in this, very neutral.
So to be clear, we are in New Brunswick. We're trying to
And to put the bias aside, I'm actually from Ontario, so
yeah.
Baby with the carry.
That's gonna
She's
be
got room. Pushed out of
Yeah.
bounds around the 21.
Great run by Isabelle Berube.
That's got to be tough for the New Brunswick defense when you know you got a quarterback that can sling it like this, but also run with the ball. Oh, New Brunswick player down by the sideline. I think that's Hannah Dedham, I believe, number 44.
Like look at the speed from Berube.
She's a weapon.
Yeah. So there is, and she is from North Bay, my friend.
I know, that's what
Yeah.
I've been saying.
Yeah.
She's my old high school.
Yeah.
North Bay, not Thunder Bay.
Yeah. Not to be confused by Thunder Bay, who is eligible to play for Team Manitoba, as we learned earlier.
That's right. Some good representation from Northern Ontario here. We got a girl from Sudbury, Neva Spadafora from St. Benedict's Catholic. And then we've got Robin Price out of Cora at Sault Ste. Marie. So some great representation there in the north.
All right. So, as I was saying earlier, it's just so nice to see, French, English, National Indigenous. There's representation from all parts of our beautiful country here, and that's what makes a national event like this so special.
So much fun.
All walks of life, all different upbringings, and all just traveling miles and miles to be here. Like, just think about how far Team Alberta had to come, Team
yeah.
Saskatchewan, Team Manitoba.
Having just made the journey to Regina a couple weeks ago, I can attest to it.
Yeah.
It is quite the trek.
We're so proud to be hosting this event. New Brunswick came in last minute to step up and save the National Women's Tournament because it was looking spotty for a bit that somebody else couldn't host and didn't have the facilities. So put together a great event.
A big
Shout out to all the
That's
FNB
right.
crew, the Camphor crew. and bringing this beautiful tournament. And it's been the other way where Team New Brunswick has to travel. It would be great to see Team Nova Scotia hop in here at some point, and maybe Ontario goes back down to one team. But just to see a new province step up would be massive.
Oh, and I'm sure it's just around the corner.
Hey, we can grow this thing to 10, 12 teams. Nothing wrong with that either. You and I will just have to call 6 games a day instead. Just kidding. I doubt we'll be invited back. All right, here we go. So, Coach Murray's got his arms around his 2 of his girls, Brazeau and Cameron Walker. Giving a little pep talk and just saying, hey, look, it's time to rally. Let's not let this thing go from 13-0. Let's not implode here. That's very, very important.
That's right. 13-0 is still a manageable score to come back to.
Oh, absolutely. We saw Team Saskatchewan jump off to a lead in our second game of the day, and it looked spotty for Manitoba, and then Manitoba didn't give up a single point for the rest of the day.
That's right.
So, it can be done. It can be done.
Well, what I've noticed, really, we're not seeing the real teams in that first half. It's a big, nerve-wracking, high-pressure tournament.
Yep.
You're going to have those jitters. It seems to me in the second half we really start to understand these teams. They start to reveal their true identity. We start to see what these teams are really all about.
Yeah. Settling the nerves, getting involved.
That's right.
Looks to be some form of injury timeout still for Team New Brunswick.
Starting to get up.
Yeah. Matt Cochran, Lisa Harlow out there. Lisa played quarterback for the St. John Seagulls, as they used to be called. They're now the Storm, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Lisa Harlow, actually, and her father, huge.
Yeah, Larry Harlow. Larry Harlow and my dad helped start that league, and there was a Harlow division named after her last year.
That's right.
For the tournament. So Lisa is a huge builder of the game. Played quarterback, linebacker. Can't repeat some of the things that she used to say in the competitive nature of football, but I wouldn't mess with Lisa Harlow on the field, that's for sure.
Or off it.
Or off of it, yeah. She's actually so kind.
Great. She's
yeah.
great. Hannah
so
Dedham
kind.
back on her own feet, being helped off the field.
Yeah.
Happy to see that. She's okay, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
So, another fun fact, too, about the Harlows, I think your dad was involved in it, too, starting the national program for the women's. I got to say, what, early 2000s?
Yeah, so we were saying in the last broadcast, the MWFL, the Maritime Women's Football League in Atlantic Canada, started between 2 teams. The Fredericton Lady Gladiators and the St. John Seagulls played each other 6 times, if you can believe it, in the first year of 2004.
That's got to get old. It's the same team 6 times.
Yeah, so it's been 20 years in the making. Here we go.
Ontario at the field. Isabelle Berube from the 24-yard line. Toss to number 20. She's got a lot of room, cutting it inside.
Nice move.
Oh, flips the field. Out of Reggie Bush.
Could get her.
And that's a touchdown, Ontario.
Oh, we're signaling down at the 1.
Signaling down at the 1. Yep. Great eye by,
First
I believe that's Al Gates out there. Eagle eye, Al Gates.
It is Al
spotted
Gates.
on the 1-yard line.
So what feels like a foregone conclusion, first and goal from the 1. Defense needs to be stout. There's just an issue with tackling there. The problem is once you get a cutback lane like that and we're in chase mode, it's big trouble. And when I say we're, I mean anyone, not just New Brunswick. I could say that about Team Ontario. We're in chase mode. Mm-hmm. It's just the defense. The defense is chasing.
Between a rock and a hard place for New Brunswick here on the 1-yard line. Isabelle Berube under the center, about to take the snap. Tosses it to number 20. Cuts it inside. That's a touchdown. Team Ontario red.
All right. Time to reset.
Another touchdown, Team Ontario.
So this is the 3-seeded Ontario Red team versus the 6-seed Team New Brunswick. Team New Brunswick was able to pull out 2 wins and have a bronze medal in 2022. Outstanding achievement for that team. Last year was a little bit more of a struggle with a great first-round game against Team Quebec, and then they had a tough game in the second game, and then their only win last year was against the National Indigenous women's team. which we saw in the first game of today. That is not the same National Indigenous team that was brought last year that scored 0 points. They put up 32, folks. Just an unbelievable turnaround and some outstanding athletes on that National Indigenous group. Loser of today's game plays National Indigenous for the consolation round and going towards 5th place. The winner of today is in the medal round in the semifinals and will play Quebec. So Team Quebec watching closely, Team National Indigenous watching closely. They will play these two people no matter the outcome.
All right, Ontario set to kick off. 21-0 for Ontario. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And Ontario probably out for some blood after this game. In day 2, they lost 60-0 to the eventual champions Alberta. This looks like a different Ontario team, and I think they're really setting their sights on that Alberta team.
All right, so they kicked to Brazeau. So if I'm Coach Murray, I want to try to get the ball to Jana McAllister. I mean,
right.
they're balling up Brazeau. Time to try something different. Let's get the ball to Jana. Jana can change games. Let's give her a touch. And last year, if we scroll up, the 90 points. We had said 80 earlier today. It was 90 points that Quebec put up. New Brunswick put up 72, and they have some of those athletes from last year. So knowing that this team is capable of scoring 72 points from last year shows you that they do have that big playability. But this defense for Team Ontario Red has been
stifling.
You got it. Here we go. There's Jana.
Little option toss.
There's Jana. That's who I'm talking about. It's like every once in a while, I can be right. So first and we're gonna about 3 yards to go. Second and 3. So that's a great first down play. The best gain of the day for New Brunswick. Let's build off that momentum. If you're Team New Brunswick, Team Ontario has got an excellent defense.
Not seeing 53 out there, but it looks like 50 is not a downgrade at the defensive end position. That's Favor Ebenki out of David Suzuki Secondary School in Brampton, Ontario.
So back to Jana.
Good
cut by Jana. There goes Jana.
That's what she does.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So, and a horse collar. So there's 2 plays in a row by Jana McAllister. Chat was talking about bias. What I have witnessed is Jana McAllister.
That's right.
Jana McAllister is plays for the local Predators program here in Fredericton, and Jana is one of those game-changing backs. It's someone that you just want to feed the rock to. So if it's not working with Brazeau, why not give it to your plan B? And it's the best plan B I've ever seen.
That's
right? So, to me, it's 1A and 1B, not A and B. It's 1A, 1B. So
and if Jana heats up, go back to Brazeau.
Yeah, you got it. So
a few years ago, actually, I watched them play against each other because in the fall they play on separate teams, and between the two of them, there must have been 600 rushing yards.
And the thing about Brazeau is a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
But I think that Jana's got a little bit more agility to her.
I agree.
Okay, that's going backwards.
That's a big loss on the play. Ontario 29-11 teaming up there. That is
Celine Lewis-Chan
and Celine Lewis-Chan on the tackle.
So this one looks like it's supposed to be a rollout QB draw, is what it's supposed to be, and Jana's supposed to lead block here. So the reality is that you have Jana not really blocking anybody, so that's part of the problem. So if you're Jana, you've got to get a body on Team Ontario.
Not biting on the fake to Jana at all, tracking Cormier's hip right away.
Yeah.
Jana on the
now,
jet
we haven't
motion.
seen a pass yet from Team New Brunswick, so they're due.
Ontario,
okay, good move.
Over them in the backfield.
Yeah.
41 on the tackle. That's Madeline Justison out of Central Technical School in Toronto.
So let's see if a couple effective positive gains moving into Team Ontario territory.
That's
really something to build off of for Team New Brunswick. And if Team New Brunswick can find a way to try to maybe get some type of short pass threat,
that's right.
It can make the box spread out because they're all just keying on Brazeau, and now they're going to key on 10 and they're Haley, right? Yep. And they're going to key on Jana.
New Brunswick got a great punt
from
New
right.
Brunswick here.
This is a punt. This is a threat.
25.
This is a threat. Can't let her outside.
80 finds the outside once again. 92 from New Brunswick. That's Chloe Donovan on the tackle at Simons High School.
But Katie Foley can change a game. We saw that in the early first quarter. 40 seconds to go.
Ontario player down. Looks to be okay. Just a little shaken up.
So, if you're Team New Brunswick, you've got the Team Ontario finally in their own end. So it's bend don't break mentality at this point. Get the ball back for your offense and extend the game.
This Ontario team, very well coached. Head coach Carly Manners, assistant coaches Isaac Smith, Kyle Cole, Bryson James, Heather Hamilton, and Melissa Grieco, with mentee coach Paige Hamilton. I'm familiar with Kyle. I've worked with before. I've actually had Kyle stay over as he's a scout for University of Toronto. Came over here to scout some New Brunswick athletes.
All right, ball's put out there. Oh, so that's a good ball put on by Isabel Berube, just dropped by number 83. Kajuana Grant out of St. Joseph Catholic High School in Ottawa.
Another Ottawa high school. The Ottawa pumping out lots of very talented varsity female athletes.
All right, so 2 split to the right for Berube.
She's going to air it out. There's the ball.
Wide open.
A great ball to number 18, who's got plenty of room down the field.
It's a touchdown.
That's going to be a touchdown for Team Ontario.
I was watching. That's Tegan Roy. I was watching Tegan Roy warm up. Anyone who has, the special writing on the back plate, that's how you know that person has some swagger.
They're going to
and they're probably going to make you look silly as they did on that play. So Tegan Roy, mad respect, mad props. That was a heck of a touchdown. So Tegan Roy takes it for 6. I'm going to say that's roughly a 65-yard play, catch and run. That's where Berube is dangerous. So Berube can run and pass. We saw that in the previous game, the dual threat with Sarah Fanyan, and this Berube is not fooling around. So early at 29-0 for Team Ontario. And we're almost through the first quarter. We've got about 4 seconds to go here. You got to keep your heads up if you're Team New Brunswick.
That's right.
Last thing you want to do is quit at this point. Keep it coming.
Long game to play here.
You got it.
But I will say this is a different Team Ontario team from the one we saw last year. And if the Canada Cup was any indication of their success, they're going to do great. That Team Ontario team, a cut above the rest at the Canada Cup. Straight timing the final, actually.
It's my understanding that they have decided to stack one unit this year.
Yes.
Just from seeing the previous game of Team Ontario Black. The red, I believe, is the A squad, and they're certainly looking like it.
Definitely. And that's the way you got it. The kick is over the returner's head.
So that's Peyton Rogers going back to field it. Still has a chance to return it, though.
Lots of Ontario company at the doorstep.
Yeah.
Tackle made at the 10.
All right. First down, Team New Brunswick.
Rogers brought down by Justison. NB will take over.
All right, so what was working? So you can use Brazeau as a little bit of a decoy here. You're attempting to run Kaylee Cormier. There were some positive yards out of Jana McAllister. So to me, it's either you work off the jet or you direct snap to either Brazeau or to Jana, because you need that extra blocker in there. There's some missed assignments happening from Team New Brunswick that's allowing people into the backfield.
Well, Ontario really knows what New Brunswick is trying to do. They've loaded the box.
Yep.
They've got their ends set out wide. They are not going to let New Brunswick get the edge.
And let's see if we can. Let's see if Kaylee Cormier can open it up and maybe throw a pass to Sarah Kennedy, who's a starting wide receiver, had some success at last year's tournament. Tall, great hands. I had the luxury of coaching Sarah 2 years ago for the Bantam U16 team that I coached, and she played with the boys, and she absolutely made some boys look silly.
Nice. Here we go. H to the field, 3-man surface. Cormier with that toss option.
There it is. Jana
finding room, but this Ontario team is
just ruthless.
Like a pack of rabid dogs ruling the streets of Fredericton. They are everywhere.
Ruthless. Just bully ball on defense for Team Ontario.
And
this is looking. It'll be interesting to see. That Manitoba defense is gonna play against Alberta, right?
That's right.
And now we're gonna see if if the score were to stand from today, the Team Ontario against Team Quebec, and the defense swarming the ball.
Is a very impressive defense.
Here we go. New Brunswick, 2nd and 10, looking for something positive here. Give
Balls
is
to
to
Jana.
Jana. Gain of about 2 or 3 positive yards.
Ontario just knows the run is coming. That box is fully loaded.
So Team New Brunswick does have another option at quarterback that they could consider if they wanted to maybe open it up with some more passing game. There could be some. We may see Emma Lundgren. Right now, it is the Kaylee Cormier show.
New Brunswick subbing in to do a punt here. They're a player short, but still plenty of time. Here we go. New Brunswick punting the ball.
Parker Carr agrees with us. He wants to see NB air it out, and I agree. I think there's got to be a little bit of mix in here.
Ontario again fine with not sending any pressure on those punts. They are cool with 80 taking
comes
it
Foley.
and doing what she does. This time,
Great job.
Rizzo on the tackle.
Awesome.
Foley picks it up on the
And it looks to be, what's the indications? No yards, perhaps, on New
what
Brunswick,
it's
which is
looking like.
totally fine. You don't want Katie Foley to break one.
That's right.
All right,
I'm taking
so
that 5-yard penalty every
Defense.
single
If
time.
the defensive team, New Brunswick, can just bend a little and not give up the big play, they can make this game competitive again. So
That's
if
right.
you have, if you bottle things up, you give up 5, you give up 6, you make them work for it.
That's right.
But it's been the big slash plays, those that just got you.
Yeah.
So it looks like they've got Brazo out there on defense. So they're pulling out all the stops here to make sure that they try to stop the bleeding.
Brazil
Isabel
playing that linebacker DB hybrid position.
Berube back to work.
Looks like Brazil's coming. Nope. The handoff to number 22.
Good tackle by Brazo. Oh, just
Made
rolls
that
off.
initial contact, slowed her down, and let her friends come and
Yeah.
finish the job.
Number 22 for Team Ontario is Sienna Cavi to St. Michael's High School, Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Now I want to say
I
I've
think
heard that
there's a
name
big
before.
water. There's a big waterfall there, isn't there, in Niagara Falls?
I think so. Yeah, I'm ashamed to say, as an Ontario native myself, it took me 31 years to go out and see it, but I did go see it. Handoff to number 22 again. She's got some room to the outside, and she's breaking this one loose. Down at the 5-yard line, a couple New Brunswickers on the tackle. Looks like it's Brazo.
It's a contain issue. So Alexis Richard out of Mathieu Martin. So it says Mathieu Martin. So defensive end here, watch. Goes inside. Sorry, that's 45 going inside. My fault. Number 45, Gabby Ewert out of Simons. She goes inside. When somebody down blocks you, so when a guard tries to seal you outside, they're trying to set
There's
up
a
an
reason
outside
for it,
run.
that's right.
So you have to keep your outside shoulder free, and she ducks inside, and that causes a big gain.
Berube taking the snap from the 6-yard line, airs
Passes
it
up.
out.
It's good.
Touchdown,
Touchdown.
Ontario, number 83.
Yep.
pass complete.
That's Kawana Grant,
Yeah.
St. Joseph Catholic. Go figure, out of Ottawa.
This little pass and catch from Team Ontario.
Kiana Grant.
Isabelle Berube already over 100 yards passing. 3 for 5, 4 for 6, 122. 3 touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And she is spreading the love. We've got, how many receivers? We got 3 receivers, 3 receptions for 116. Tegan Roy. 2 receivers. Kiwana Grant, 1 for 6. I was looking at the rushing stat. Ontario's running the ball by committee here. We got 5 people with running statistics.
All right. So Team New Brunswick. Let's get something positive out of the next series. So you had a little bit of success with Jana. You haven't really tried to throw the rock. So maybe a 5-yard out, throw a hook, throw a
Something to get
seam
the
down the
confidence going,
sidelines.
you know?
Yeah, something for a chunk play to test the defense. Because as you mentioned earlier, John, you stack the box. You have 4 or 5 people inside just keying on run. Makes it really difficult to be successful.
Now, something I'd like to see, and again, Bobby and I both know, very easy for us to call a game from the booth and not on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
But I'd love to see a screen here. I think with the way Ontario's loading the box, all their person, you get that ball out there fast to your athlete, you give them space. People like Brazeau and McAllister are bound to make a move, make somebody miss, and get some big chunk yardage.
Yeah, this is less of a reflection of Team New Brunswick and more of a pat on the back for Team Ontario. Like the execution on just that quick slant alone to the touchdown. Berube put that right on her. Great on her. Right in the hands, against even if that's against Team Alberta, that could be a touchdown.
That's right.
That's not just New Brunswick.
That's right.
So take some
Tony
pride.
with the kick. Another deep kick.
That could go out of bounds, and it does. So that's a good news for Team New Brunswick. That'll be awesome field position.
We'll see what New Brunswick dials up here.
And that B will start with good field position.
Great crowd out here today, and Ontario fans have traveled very well. Obviously, the host province, New Brunswick.
Yeah, lots of fandom here.
Showing up, lots of flags, lots of maroon.
So Team New Brunswick trying to put together something positive, give their fandom something to cheer about.
That's right.
And earlier in the tournament, if you weren't around or you're just tuning in from further out in New Brunswick, maybe you couldn't make the trip from Moncton or St. John to see your girls play. The National Indigenous team won their opening game in the first game of the day. Team Manitoba downed Team Saskatchewan in the second game, and Team Alberta was victorious over Team Quebec in the third game. So this is our fourth tilt of the day.
That's right.
Kaylee back under, Jana having success. So, Nick Murray, Coach Murray did give the rock there to Jana. We're a pause game, about 3 or 4, not bad for first down.
That's right.
So if you can make it third and short, you've given yourself a chance. You do something like that or slightly larger than that. So watch the little shifty move by Jana. So the right guard blocks down, does create a little bit of a gap.
I believe that's the H out there coming to pick up that end.
New Brunswick just has to hold their box a little bit longer. They're letting girls run past them, and that's the issue.
Hand off
there
to
it
McAllister with some speed.
Okay, you know what? That's third and manageable. Hey, it's 37-0. You've got nothing to lose. You got third and manageable. I go for it. Absolutely. A punt may net you 20 or 30 yards tops. Go for it. You're third and 2, coach. Let's go. Let's believe in ourselves.
That's right. Message from the legend himself, Larry Harlow, in the chat. Great to have you. Great job, guys. NB needs to get outside with some blocks.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, Larry.
They just need blocks in general, Larry. They need blocks in general. So it's, if you study this tape,
heavy
here
formation.
We go. QB
with the sneak, that's going to be
It depends on, I might have been
short.
offside on the defense. We'll see here. Let's see the call. Yep, it is. So that's positive for Team New Brunswick. That'll be a first down for Team New Brunswick. Something to cheer about. Give their fans a reason to believe. So, it's going to be a first down for New Brunswick, and I believe that is their first down of the day, John.
Might be the second. I think they did get one earlier on a drive.
Jana had 2 big runs. Yeah, she did have a big run. Yep. Good point. So that's their second first down of the day. So between the guard play and the motions from the backs, you got to put a body on somebody. So you got to hold your blocks and get in the way of those defensive line of Ontario. They're in that wide, like you said. Snaps over the head.
Snaps high.
Picks it
Ontario
up.
all over the place. Oh, greeted by a ferocious pack of Ontario defenders. Loss of about 20 yards and change there.
Yeah. So the positivity that came with that first down, it's going to take you back to second and about 25.
Second and Miramichi.
Yeah, it's about second and 30. So don't try to get it all back in one play. 15, 20 yards.
That's right.
It might be a good time to see if they can establish some form of a pass game. So, let's give Kaylee Cormier a chance to air it out and see if they can get behind one of these defensive backs on Team Ontario. So, Sarah Kennedy is split wide. They got trips to the right, so this could be a pass.
Jet motion,
and
orbit motion.
It is going to be a pass.
Cormier, ball's out. Good
throw.
ball.
Good try.
Just a little overthrown.
Jana's got to keep running. So as a running back, it's kind of hard to train them. That's where Sarah Kennedy is probably the better option there, but that's not scripted to her.
That's right.
But Sarah keeps running on that. That's the difference between kind of a trained wide receiver and a trained running back, right? So
yes.
Jana's used to getting handed the ball.
Well, it's so easy. I work with my DBs all the time on this too. It's so easy to get mesmerized by the ball in the air and forget your assignment, right? A lot of these players, they want receptions, they want interceptions, they want touchdowns. And, if you do those little things right, you will get those results. Again, so New Brunswick punting the ball. Ontario not sending any pressure again. Ball's on the turf. Ontario falls on it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I've been playing the position for over 20 years, and I still get caught with my eyes in the backfield staring at the ball. It's very easy to lose track of that trail hip. So, hey, nothing you can't learn in film and get better at. And
that's right.
Regroup.
Chris, second in Memram Cook. So, just a little explanation on that. I picked that up from Chris over in Saskatchewan. The Rough Riders color commentator, anytime it's a second and long situation, he'll go second in an obscure, faraway town in Sask. So, trying to bring some of that Sask culture to New Brunswick.
Shout out to Memram Cook, fake by Berube.
Oh, great fake. Berube with
nobody
plenty
there.
of room.
The issue is
she going to turn this into 6?
There's nobody home, so I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the replay, but I'm not sure where the defender on the top end of the defense went.
I think I saw
Where
that.
are you? Where did you go? Because if you're in man-to-man, you either need to, let's see. Oh, it's a blitz. That's what it was. It was a blitz, okay? So that's the issue. As soon as you miss that blitz, you're in trouble. So, blitzing is a very aggressive call.
That's right.
When the outsides are being eaten up the way that they are.
And the way she did a great job attacking the mesh point.
Oh,
unfortunately,
the blitz was the
wrong
blitz,
person.
So now, when your corner at the top of the screen there is running around, so now that's motion.
It's a bump with the
that's
jet.
Roy. That's Roy.
New Brunswick all
Good
over
job.
that one.
Great play by Team New Brunswick.
That's going to be a loss of 3.
Tackle for loss for New Brunswick.
Nicolas Berube answers the question. For the question as to why Isabelle is number 40, she wanted number 3, but 40 was the only one available. So many of these provinces, they send multiple teams away to tournaments, and oftentimes there's not enough jerseys to go around. I know myself had dealt with that over the past couple weeks. Some of the players not getting their favorite numbers, but you know what? Whatever number you work, if you play good enough, you're going to make it look cool. And Isabelle Berube definitely looking cool out there.
All right, Give is on a draw.
Oh,
that's a touchdown.
Untouched.
Yeah.
Number 22.
Beautiful
touchdown.
Run.
Team Red.
Yeah, great run by Sienna Cavey. And that's just a simple draw. So the difference between kind of a typical inside zone run and a draw is that if the quarterback at least looks like they're going to throw downfield and then they give to the running back, it kind of makes the defense freeze for a second, think that it's a pass. So this looked like a traditional draw. Just watch how the hands go up. Oh, it's a high snap actually in this case, but it turned into a very effective inside zone play.
But great point on that draw.
Looks like a track athlete.
Yeah. Linebackers are taught, with a read step, you take one quick step, you assess what the offense is doing. Oftentimes you see the quarterback with the ball over their shoulder like that. Linebackers might flip their hips expecting pass, and next thing you know, you got a running back bursting through one of the gaps, untouched for a touchdown.
So the good news is, to mix it up here, there's a Olivier Eddy sighting in the booth here, and so that people don't get their popcorn or beer or anything at halftime, I think we should start that interview a little bit early. So,
That's right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, rock, paper, scissors, who's going to chat with them?
I think I got to do it because Olivier emailed me in Saskatchewan, so I owe him the favor back.
Okay, that sounds good. All right.
You want to do it now?
Give him 5 minutes to ask him how he thinks about the Brunswick quickly and give him the whole thing.
All right, Olivier Eddy, offensive coordinator of the National Indigenous team, joining us today. Olivier, how are you feeling?
In disbelief and in awe. We had a fantastic moment for our girls. I'm almost emotional talking about it.
I can imagine.
Just it's a special group. I don't know how to describe it, but what they're doing, what this means to them is beyond understanding for some of us because of the privilege that we have on a day-to-day basis.
just simply, when you make history, you're going to get emotional over it. So totally understandable there, Coach. How did you guys prepare for the tournament? What's different from last year?
Well, quite a bit, and different from most teams because our group comes from all over the country. Now, not exactly, okay? Our core nucleus, it's a lot of people from Fort McKay, North Alberta.
Okay.
Some from Saskatchewan, about 4, I believe. There's a core from Winnipeg and 2 athletes from Ontario. So it's not fully coast to coast yet. In terms of who showed up to try out.
Right.
The challenge that we can't practice on the weekend. We had to fly everybody into Winnipeg for 1 weekend. So we had 2 practices last Saturday, 2 practices last Sunday, and then we selected our roster, if you will, on Monday morning-ish.
So that's news to me. 1 weekend together. I can tell you, New Brunswick, together most weekends going all the way back to April. So, to add another layer of already an impressive win for the National Indigenous team, 1 weekend to try out and prepare for the tournament. Olivier, very impressive. So would you say, what's the goal next year then in terms of athletes, how to prepare for the tournament?
It's beautiful catch here. Well done.
Yeah, great.
Man, there's some
Cameron
good
Walker.
great athletes on the field. To answer your question, the goal for next year, I haven't thought about it. We're still trying to recover from the fact that we just won our game and trying to game plan for what's next.
That's right.
It's these tournaments, as you know, you've been part of them as a GM coaching and being involved in football in New Brunswick. Like it's go right for coaches.
That's right.
So I haven't thought about next year.
Yeah, I guess more of a question of like with the success that you've already gotten at this tournament, do you think next year the process looks different into how you can prepare, how many athletes come and try out for the team?
Well, I'll tell you what's really, really interesting and fun in terms of an opportunity is that because we're a national team, technically speaking, as the sports grows, as the branding of the program even grows, and as we start reaching more Indigenous youth, we have an opportunity to be very, 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 very strong. At the end of the day, can we find 3 solid Indigenous athletes in provinces that we're missing so far? I bet the answer is yes.
I think so.
So pretty quickly, you know that the opportunity in the ceiling is extremely high. There's no really a ceiling. So that's an interesting thing for the group. Now, it's not easy to operate nationally at this level from a finance point of view.
Yes.
So there are some challenges. So what's next, I don't know, but I can tell you that there's optimism. I can tell you that there's a lot of pride in the program, and the opportunity is, I think there's a high ceiling.
Well, we love to see it. The growth in this sport has been phenomenal. From a women's side and Indigenous side, we're really building up this game. So here we go, guys. 3rd and 5. New Brunswick going for a QB draw. She's going to be close, but I think this one's going to be short.
Outstanding play call. I love the play call from Team New Brunswick. I don't think they got it, but that was well executed by the QB as well. Good run. That Ontario defense, I know I'm just joining you in the booth, but that's a special group.
Yeah, I'd say. Earlier, we were pretty blown away by the Manitoba defense and not taking anything away from them, but in terms of toughness and grit, I think Manitoba's got it, but in terms of just raw athleticism and skill, Ontario looking like a cut above the rest right now. This defensive group causing havoc and mayhem in the New Brunswick backfield.
Well, we know that because we also know New Brunswick is well organized, well coached, and a good team.
That's
so
right.
when you see the score, you go, wait a second.
Yes.
It's not a question of New Brunswick not being able. I think you're going to see New Brunswick win some games this turn for sure. I think Ontario was just that special.
I really think so. And you know what? It was kind of the same at the Canada Cup. In the first days, we're thinking, business as usual. And then as the tournament progressed, Ontario just a cut above the rest. Here we go. Isabelle Beribe under center. They're going to run the ball here. Number 30. Good stop for New Brunswick. Gain of 3. That was number 30, Ontario. That's Neva Spadafora out of St. Benedict's in Sudbury, Ontario. They're Great White North.
John, as we get ready for second down, I want to tell you a story and to our viewers about Team Ontario, who we just played. So the other Team Ontario squad. Honestly, I've been coaching for years of football. One of the most class act groups. So here's what they did after the game. It's one thing to lose and, against what is probably an underdog team as you're coming in and not feeling great. Shakes our hand, smiles, polite, real conversation of congratulations, and says, guys, come with us for a second. We go in the corner of the end zone. They switch to orange Every Child Matter jerseys. And I'm going to choke up talking about this.
Yes.
And they request that we come see them tomorrow to share stories of Indigenous youth so that they can learn. And they go, I don't want media there. I don't want a camera. I don't want PR. I want legitimate stories so that we can hear, what are some of the challenges of Indigenous people in this country. Wow. Surprised emotional about it.
Chills.
Honestly, hats off to that coaching staff, the general manager. That kind of treatment and respect, outstanding.
Absolutely. And that's what it's about, is oftentimes, the issues aren't known. And if we talk about fumble, Ontario back on it, we need to keep the conversation going. We need to talk about this. And the fact that they did this unprompted, absolute class.
I know. Alexia Brazeau gets a tackle there. I remember that name. So I was in your shoes 2 years ago in Regina on the first under 18, and I remember saying Alexia Brazeau's name all the time.
All day.
Unbelievable. She's still part of this program, kicking ass. Number
That's
21,
right.
great athlete.
She is a veteran in this program, 3-year standout. And just like Olivier said, day 2, I believed, in the first tournament, we had Alexia playing both ways. So there's the toss to number 30, and Alexia there. There we go. New Brunswick lands on it. It's going to be New Brunswick ball on the 41-yard line. Let's see if this offense can start clicking and turn this into a game.
Outstanding. When the score is like that, and you see a team still fighting, clawing, to show everything they got, pride. They represent their province, their teammates, their coaches. Big turnover.
Big turnover.
That'd be New
Huge
Brunswick.
turnover. We are not going to see a quit out of this team. I know the coaches. I know the players. Regardless of the score, this team is going to fight to the bitter end.
You guys already made talk about it. Can you tell Justice Barons? Can you talk about Justice Barons?
Oh, my goodness.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about Justice?
Let's talk about Justin Barons.
I don't know if we have the final stat from that game, but Justice Barons on National Indigenous team, I think around 22 tackles. Olivier, tell us about this young girl and how she prepared for the tournament and putting up these crazy numbers.
Outstanding athlete. 1 season of football experience. Played that free safety middle linebacker type of role. As you know, like the defensive backs, free safeties in this setting.
Hybrid.
Yeah, very much so. So she's one that we know we can do a lot defensively because she'll just clean up whatever's behind it, right?
Right.
And there was a spell there. I think it was 7 tackles in a row. You guys were mentioning it.
Yeah.
By the way,
stopped announcing and said we'll let you know if it's not Justice.
we had a chance to listen to your broadcast after the game. Of course, I wanted to go see, and outstanding job, guys. Way to have some fun and it's good.
Well, there's Cameron Walker with the reception.
Good call, because that defender was early.
That's right. I think pass interference there.
What about the Taj Marie Thompson show?
Oh,
Taj
man.
Marie Thompson. So that's an athlete out of Ontario
Okay.
who ended up trying out for our team instead, right? So these athletes, they can choose to go with their team. So I'm sure, I assume there's some Indigenous girls who are playing on certain teams. There you go.
As well, yeah.
So those athletes have they have a choice. They can choose to go for their province, to go for us. We have a few athletes who didn't make the provincial team, and then they came to us afterwards. Totally part of the process as well.
Right.
Happy to have them. And yeah, Taj Thompson, a great player out of Ontario. She's special. As you guys mentioned, when she's on the field, it's jet sweep. So we gotta try to do something different next game. It's too obvious.
The creativity of the QB sneak, moving in, the
Oh,
QB sneak moving into.
Those were some great calls there.
We didn't have a big playbook, but we try to make sure that every time we have a play, we have something that's similar, so that way we can kind of,
Pass for New Brunswick, wide on, it's intercepted. Number 19, Ontario Red with that pick. That is Shelby Hubert Norwood out of Holy Trinity Catholic Secondary School in Bowmanville, Ontario.
Lots of great athletes on the field, man. There's been some good football today. One more game to go tonight, right?
Blown away.
This
is the last game of the night, Hey, I gotta have a late. If it was another game, Miss Wilkinson would not be very happy with how late I'd be getting back home. But here we go, Ontario taking over at the 50-yard line. So Olivier, day 2, day 1 you come in saying, hoping you score a touchdown. You come away with 32 points on the board and a victory. I mean, how's that feel? Coming in, nothing to lose, no expectations, and you come away with, something more than you thought you could achieve.
Here's what's wild, John, is that you walk into these tournaments, you don't have film on your opponent.
That's right.
You don't know where you stand. Legitimately came in going, we can win, we can lose by 70, we might score one. I have no idea, right? So you score the first one, and you kind of go okay, maybe we have a chance.
Yeah.
And then you go, please God, don't let us lose 39-7. And then you score another one. You go, okay, actually, now I really fully believe.
That's right.
So it's interesting, and you saw in our girls too, right? Scoring that first one was huge for us.
30 with a great run, some Northern Ontario grit there, making the first girl miss in the backfield.
Emma Bradley, nice tackle there.
Yeah, nice tackle, absolutely.
Team Ontario.
That defender, number 6, made a lot of plays, so we try to keep the ball away from her.
You would have scored more points.
Yeah.
We identified kind of that she was a good player, and so we try to stay away. She still found a way to get a pick 6 and a number of tackles.
Oh, yeah.
Great coverage. Again, every one of these teams have a couple of really solid, impressive athletes, and you see it in the 6-a-side game. It's so wide open.
That's right.
The fast ones, they show up, right?
Total track meet. You know, the future of the national team, senior national team's looking good in the hands of these young women that will eventually age up and be able to try out for that team. Here's the punt from number 20. And I got to say, the operations and the kicking from Ontario, very impressive. As number 7, Peyton Rogers fields that at the 22.
Yeah, one of the strongest kickoff leg kickers. Now, I did miss one game. I didn't see the Quebec.
I would say the Ontario kicker, definitely the strongest leg in the tournament so far.
Yeah, really impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice guard for National Indigenous. I noticed he held blocks and was driving.
Yeah, Gabby Gladue.
Gladue.
Her sister is Alicia Gladue, who had that statement that made that. She's a special teams coordinator as well.
Right. Okay.
She's an alumni of the U18 Alberta program the first year. So she won a gold the first year.
Was she the one that led the smudge ceremony?
She was part of the smudge ceremony as well.
Yes, I remember that. Yep. Okay.
Yep. So Alicia now playing in the WWCFL for the Regina Riot. So she's one of my hometown athletes in Regina, and now a special teams coordinator here. And that's her sister. Her little sister's playing center. So, long story short, her little sister is a linebacker, defensive linebacker. And 2 days ago, we realized that she was an incredible snapper. And we went, okay, you're coming on offense. Let's see how it goes. And she picked up the playbook in 2 days.
It's a jet from Jana. Looks like they'll lose yards here. Olivier, another question for you. A lot of these teams fighting for glory. The team, National Indigenous team, fighting for a lot more than that. What are these girls fighting for? What do they, if they were up here being interviewed, what would they want the world to know? What would they want the nation to know?
I think I can't speak on their perspective. I'm not an Indigenous man, but I'll tell you what. I've been spending 4 weeks with them and all that. I think if I'm going to make an assumption, they're going to speak about the pride that they have and what they're capable of doing. I think it's about belonging.
Yes. Showing
that we can be part of these things, because a lot of them, their background's very different than yours and I's, John.
Right.
You know,
right.
But they 100% do belong. They're kicking ass.
Yeah.
The shift from practice to, and I don't like this term, but game face, unbelievable. Okay,
a bunch of gamers.
I haven't seen that drastic of a shift. So like in practice at times, I'm kind of like going like, we could be a little bit, different. And we show up to the game, and I went, oh. Okay, these young ladies, they turned it on.
I love
They put their face paint in, they dance, they have fun, they like those things, those ways to express themselves individually.
Absolutely.
In terms of dancing, celebrating, all that. It's all about them. They look at their teammates in the eyes and they dance. Never, I hope anyways, never disrespect towards another player, but they're always going to celebrate those moments because they don't have a ton in day-to-day world all the time. So when they're doing something special here, we tell them to celebrate and they enjoy it. To answer your question, I mean, end of the day, I think they want to be noticed, understood, heard, that they belong, they're capable. Right. And I think they're showing that so far.
I couldn't agree more. Olivier, thank you so much for coming up in the booth and joining us. Really appreciate it. Congratulations on the historic win, and best of luck at the rest of the tournament.
Hey, thank you so much. You guys keep doing a great job, and enjoy your halftime break.
Yeah, we'll try. So that was offensive coordinator Olivier Eddy with the National Indigenous Women's Team, giving us a bit of insight on the team there, how they're feeling about that big win, and what they're looking forward to. You know, he had mentioned that teams are looking for a platform to share what is special to them, what is sacred to them, and what a great venue to be able to do that. Very proud of the National Indigenous team. All right, so halftime here, 45-0 for Team Ontario Red. We've got a 10-minute break, and yours truly has to go use the facilities. I will be back in 9 minutes. We'll see you then.
1975, we brought you an album with a song.
Who's the timer? Timer? Right on. Straight time. That's all. All right. Perfect, sir. Thank you. You should stay. You should stay. She only threw for 30. I know. I love it. I love it. It is fast. Yeah, it is. That doesn't make sense. I don't get it. It's like this. Keep up the great work. Good job. Thank you. Gary I've been around the ball for a while. I don't know. I think you would check the man. Yeah, I get all the baseball growing up. Josh, yeah. So that's Josh. So you went to Scotland, right? Yeah, it's still there. Well, I left it 10 years with the Riders. Yeah. I've been out since tail end of COVID. I'm still having jobs. I work for Regenera's a bad rap. Generally don't like it, but I thought Fredericton. Yeah. But like any place in the world, make some friends and compete with something. Good food. That's good. What are you doing over? Work. So I left the Riders which I sold to this one. I'm trying to get back into coaching, so I'm making sure that I'm ready to go wherever that is. I'm trying to join the U18 team. It may not happen this year, but I'm still going to push for it. Yeah, take a chance. If I don't like it, I'll come back. Oh yeah. Yeah, Dom's. You can look at my, if you look at my notes, I started off and as the game goes, the last one came right down. I'll pretend it's because we're doing a better job, but I don't think necessarily. The starters. Reading the topic, I'll let you know. Long penalties.
Ladies and gents, we are back for the second half of our Day 1, Game 4 game between New Brunswick and Team Ontario Red. Team Ontario Red with a healthy lead, 45-0 right now. We'll see if New Brunswick can turn the tides of the battle here in the second half. For those of you unfamiliar, I believe we are straight time right now, which means the clock will not be stopped. So do not scream at your TV sets. They have it right. Anytime a team takes a lead of 35 points or more, the clock starts going straight time.
Yeah, so let's talk about the positives for Team New Brunswick. Janet McAllister, 9 carries for 30 yards, had a long run of 11 yards. Fundamentally, trying to get something going in a little bit of a passing game. Maybe just to change the way that the offense is run. I think we might see number 1, Emma Lundgren, come in at quarterback. I would make that change if I was Team New Brunswick to just offer some variety to the game.
That's right.
Not that Kaylee did anything wrong, just let's change the pace, right? So she's getting talked to like she's going in. She seems focused. Coach Manguso's in her ear, so I do expect to see Emma Lundgren in the second half.
We'll see if that's
good arm on her. Good arm on her. You know, just try to complete some passes and get something positive, right?
That's right. That's
you
right.
can tell by the way that her body language is and coach is talking to her that she's going to get her chance. So, all right. Kickoff. Here we go.
Team New Brunswick set to kick off.
The winner of this game will face Quebec in the semifinals on Thursday. The loser will be relegated to the consolation semifinal versus the National Indigenous team that had a monumental win in the first
squib kick
game of today. That is a free ball that could be fielded. Oh, big hit.
Big hit
Brazeau.
on number.
Yeah, Brazeau.
Yeah. Number 82 on Ontario taking the brunt of that one. That is Ocean Lalonde. Océane
Lalonde.
Océane. Yeah, that's probably, c'est Océan, je pense. École secondaire catholique d'Embrun.
I got you, dog.
Embrun,
Hey,
Ontario.
whenever you need French, just ask me.
That's right.
C'est Bobby McIntyre.
Well, I guess I don't do much better with the last name Wilkinson. Not very francophone.
No. You're not a Thériault. A lot of Thériots from...
Yeah, there are. No, I'm my friend Aubin is my French last name on my mother's side. So player down here, trainers are on the field. So this Ontario team, Bobby, looks like they're out to win this. They're definitely looking at the gold medal game.
They have gold aspirations, and here's the thing: when we saw Quebec Alberta, the hardest part about getting ready for the Quebec Alberta game, if you're both teams, is you literally have nothing to lose. Not
That's right.
Hey, you have nothing to lose. This is actually, if we lose, we're still in the tournament.
We're still in it.
So for Quebec, they could lay an egg, and in a lot of ways they did. Not to be overly critical, but if you watch the tape, the amount of missed snaps that occurred.
That's right.
If Quebec doesn't clean that up, this Team Ontario team will absolutely lay it into them. I'm really excited for that game. Not suggesting that New Brunswick can't win, just suggesting that it's going to be a very uphill climb for New Brunswick in the second half here. And the winner, if we're Las Vegas at this point, it's 95% Ontario at this juncture. So
Bobby, our odds expert here.
Yeah, please don't bet.
Larry Harlow, do things to make you better for the next game. Go NB.
Yeah,
so kind of some wise words there. Like we say, we never like to think it's over, but 45. That's a lot of points to overcome in the second half.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if New Brunswick is focusing on making sure they get out of this healthy and trying to figure out what's going to work for them in game number 2.
It's like Coach Larry's been around a long time, so it's pretty simple at halftime for Nick Murray. The pressure's off, ladies. So let's focus in on getting better. Hey, let's go score some points. Let's get rid of this goose egg here. Let's go put up a touchdown. Let's get some stops on defense. Let's put up some competitive tape.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, that National Indigenous team that we watched this morning can ball.
That's right.
That team can ball. Olivier in yours interview was spectacular. Well done. And there is some absolute there's trouble on that side for this New Brunswick defense. And on the other hand, between Alberta and Manitoba, that's going to be a heck. Let's talk about that game a little bit.
It's going to be a
It's going to be offense versus defense is what it's going to be, because Alberta's can score points in bunches. We saw an extremely talented Sarah Fanyan. We saw 3 players on the Manitoba defense that all stood out for us: 47, 17, and 82. There was a magnificent, ability for that defense to make stops, right?
Yes,
So that's that. Their goal for Manitoba is to keep a score low. Alberta's going to want the score to be high.
That's right.
So
That's going to be a fun one to watch. It'll be a very, very physical match. See something here.
good news is there's movement. There we go. Very positive.
We always want to see the players get up on their own strength.
So
here.
there's they're bracing the head and the neck area. So just to not speculate, making sure you go with precaution first.
Yes.
And then in the event that someone can't be moved, they would have to bring in an ambulance at that point. Let's really hope that's not the case here, but they are being cautious.
Protocol, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially anything to the head and the neck area. You just work your way down from the head and the spine, and you go from there.
You never want to take chances with something like this. Most often than not, it's non-serious, and the player's able to get up. So we will keep you updated here. But Bobby, I got to tell you, something I'm really excited to see in that game. I want to see Mary Grace Ulabadare run up against Rahima Holaki. Mm-hmm. That will be a battle for the ages right there.
Oh, there's very good news. Very good news sitting up. Excellent.
Number 8, Ontario Red. That is...
I think it's 80 something, I believe. Yep. I believe it's 8 something.
Stand by for the number on that, folks.
But the good news, folks, if you're sitting up, that's already a good,
that's right.
a good sign.
Might have been O'Shawn.
Thank you for the update. For those of us at home, hey, you're welcome. This is why we're here. We know that it's expensive to fly across the country, drive across the country. This is absolutely something that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for all of these athletes. And if you can't make it to see your athlete play, we're happy to broadcast it all week. Thursday, we'll be here all day, and then Sunday as well.
Gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun. First time for me, so... I think there might be a
all right,
for me.
great,
All right, here we go.
Great news. Walking off under their own power.
That's
really good news. 82.
82. So that is Océane Lalonde. Yeah. Up on her own strength, walking, looks good.
So nice to see. It's always scary for a parent to see their child down like that. So
mom, dad, your kid's good to go, walking off the sideline.
Rest easy. It's probably a concussion protocol thing now at this point.
That's right. And for those of you that don't know, if there's ever been a suspected concussion, regardless of what the coaches or the players may say, we have to go through protocol. You know, Football Canada has done amazing work making the game safer.
Yeah, and then there's protocol to clear the athlete to return to competition for Thursday or Sunday the event that they're eligible to return.
So here we go. Ontario taking over at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Handoff to number 30. Looks like she's got a lot of room. Heading up the sideline, tackle by Alexia Brazeau.
Nice hit. All right, so looks to be number 80 at quarterback for Team Ontario. So they've switched to their backup, which is the touchdown scorer from previously. So that's Katie Foley, who returned it to the house there earlier. So the backup quarterback is the wide receiver and punt returner. So that's at this level, when you have 22 athletes, you got to be able to wear multiple hats. So, in the event something ever happens to the starting quarterback, they want to get some confidence in Foley.
Foley taking the snap. Hands it. Oh, it's a fake. She's got some real estate down the sideline.
John, that's a gorgeous fake.
Gorgeous fake.
Yeah.
She had me fooled.
Yeah.
She's going to be close to a first down there, if not a first down.
Yeah, so this is Katie Foley's looking like a veteran quarterback who's done this before. Watch how she hits that, what we call the mesh point, right, where you're putting the ball inside of the breadbasket of the abdomen of the ball carrier and then pulling it. If we get a replay after this, we'll keep you.
No replay
show
on
you
this
what that
one.
is.
Second and 1 for Team Ontario. Foley in the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off. This time a tackle in the loss. Cameron Walker, big
Great
hit.
play by New Brunswick. So that's an opportunity where Foley probably could have pulled.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that would have been easy first down.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the two plays. So if we go back to this one is, let's see. That's the last play. So that's where, it's the opposite of the play before where Foley pulled it and had all those yards. So great stop by New Brunswick. Awesome way to start the third quarter for the New Brunswick defense.
Ontario punting from the 44-yard line. Not risking anything. Punt is almost blocked, but gets away.
Fielded clean.
Oh no. That's an Ontario ball. Number 23, Julia Boimer. Boomer, what's it? No, it's Boimer from Collège Catholique Mer Bleu. A lot of francophone representation on this
tough
team.
tough one for Peyton Rogers.
Yeah.
That's that as soon as a returner, if it hits your shoulder pads, you're in big trouble. So you got to cradle the ball between your forearms and your elbows and just give with the ball a little bit. As soon as it bounces off your shoulder pads, at the very least you let it bounce, because unless the punter is coming for you, you have every right to the football.
World.
Exactly.
Great cut by number 30. That's Neva Spadafora.
Cameron
St. Ben's.
Cameron Walker with a nice aggressive tackle.
Brought down by Walker.
That's back-to-back tackles for Walker.
Yeah.
Cameron Walker out of Harrison Trimble High School, another Trojan representing her city, Moncton, and her school, Harrison Trimble, on this New Brunswick team. Here we go. Second and short here, second and 1.
Foley back to work.
I think we're going to hand... Oh, ball's on the turf!
There
New
you go, New
Brunswick's
Brunswick.
got it!
There you go, New Brunswick.
There's a positive to celebrate for the New Brunswick defense.
Yeah,
That's
let's go.
90. That's Alexis Richard from
Yeah.
École Mathieu Martin de
There we
Matador.
go. Emma Lundgren sprinting out, so excited to get back on the field.
There we go.
And any question about bias, it's 45-0. You may hear us wanting some positivity out of this New Brunswick squad for obvious moral reasons.
That's right.
It's inhumane not to. Great recovery there by Team New Brunswick.
Cameron Walker coming out to play some offense as well. I think we've seen her out of that H-back position as well.
All right, so different look here with Emma Lundgren. A little bit more of a pass-first quarterback. Let's see if they make some more attempts to throw the ball. And they got Jana.
3 linemen surface.
They got Jana in the backfield.
That's right. H to the field, comes across the formation. It's a run to Jana.
Hand to Jana.
And again,
Pick up
Jana
maybe a yard or two.
Having to fight off 3 Ontarian defenders before she even gets to the line of scrimmage. She's going to need some help if she wants to make anything happen here.
Yeah, so for Coach Murray, it's that number 50 on the defense just push the guard back 2 or 3 yards. So on a run play, you're taught as an offensive lineman that you're supposed to drive block downfield, not wait for them to come to you.
That's right.
So they got to get out of their stance if you're Team New Brunswick. Got to get out of your stance.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Looks like it's a jet to Jana, cutting to the inside, but again, greeted by 3 Ontario defenders with a 4th waiting in reserves.
Yeah. So it's 3rd down and long. Again, you've got punt opportunity here. You might net out a few yards.
I think you got a punt here.
Yeah. The other option is you're probably a little too far out to run in a safety.
Yeah. So New Brunswick's with the ball here, 3rd and 9, we'll say, looking like they're getting ready to punt.
All right. So max protect.
Snaps up. New Brunswick Ontario not coming after it. A decent little punt.
Yeah.
Hopefully a good
keeping
bounce
it away
here.
from the returner.
That's right.
Don't give up a touchdown. Be close to the 30-yard line. And now Ontario goes back to work, getting reps for Katie Foley.
That's right. Ontario taking over. We are right at the 30-yard line. Good call, Bobby. Katie Foley, the pivot for Ontario on this drive.
So in the first quarter, Katie Foley took a deep punt return back about 60 yards.
That's right.
To the house. Beautiful play. Athletic quarterback. Let's watch the play action here. There's a fake and a keep.
There she goes again, down the sideline. New Brunswick
99
ready for it
did a
this
much
time.
better job that
Much
time.
better job. Great job,
Yeah.
Cameron Walker on
Yeah.
the tackle.
So Cameron Walker, although allows Katie to get outside, the sideline's so tight. So, if I'm New Brunswick, a gain of 2, that is ideal.
That's a win.
That is absolutely a win.
Yeah.
Last I checked, you need 10 yards for a first down. So 8 more to go is playing to your strengths.
Ontario staying in that formation.
So let's see if they give to 30 or if they pull it again.
I think we're going to see Ontario really run the ball, focusing on.
Watch the
getting some
motion of
their
17. It's a
bad
fumble.
snap.
Go get it, New Brunswick.
Foley jumps on it.
Okay, big time. All right.
Big loss of
So
yards here.
this is huge for Team New Brunswick, right? So you've got an opportunity. You're playing against the backup quarterback, and you're playing for your pride.
That's right.
And now you got to get something going on offense.
Yeah, you're really trying to get that morale back up to make sure your team's ready on day 2.
Yeah.
A big loss
Something
on
to build
day
off
1.
of. Build off of.
Exactly. You want to build off this, right?
That's good job. Good pursuit there by Emma Bradley, making sure that if that was caught, it would have been an easy tackle.
Ontario set to punt here. Punts off.
Now
and
let's
good.
see
It's
if
high.
it's. Let it bounce. Let it bounce. There you go. Much better. Now go watch the punter. Okay,
All right.
good.
New
Great
Brunswick
job.
bounce leads to a no yards penalty.
And that'll be at least another 5 yards tacked on to the return.
Chloe Donovan, smart to jump on that one and force the flag out. Larry with a good point just about the population discrepancy in these provinces. It's always tough for New Brunswick at the tournaments and the other smaller provinces, Nova Scotia, Manitoba probably as well, going up against populations that have more people in one city than our whole province, right?
Yeah, of course.
So,
So if you think about population size in New Brunswick and then you extrapolate, so let's say 750,000 in the province, then you extrapolate the amount of girls that are aged between 14 and 17.
Yes.
And then you think about the high schools compared to even GTA, right? Just GTA alone. So here we go. Emma Lundgren with a pass. Nice pass to Jana. Jana catch and run. Hey, put it on the money, Emmy Lundgren. Put it on the money.
Any update on Ocean? She looks okay. She's sitting on the trainer's bench talking to the trainer. She was waving her arms during Party in the USA, so I'm thinking she's okay.
Actually, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the best part is you have the pads are off, so they're done for the day, right? Yeah. But the good news is there's ice on the shoulder, moving around, smiling, having a good time.
New Brunswick.
All right, here we go. Emma Lundgren with another pass flare out. That's
just
a good forward pass.
Overthrown.
Yeah, just a little too high. That might have been a big gain too, because once again Jana gets the ball in space, it's the two athletes between Brazeau and Jana. Those are the two athletes that have what we would say Ontario speed. So to Larry's point, if Jana and Brazeau try out for Team Ontario, they got a great chance of making that squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then the numbers game, it goes back to the pool of athletes and the growth of our programs.
Yes,
we will get better. I mean, look at the guys. Team Canada, for Canada Cup. Never had a better showing than this year. So it can be done. Just keep growing the game.
That's right. I think the first time we ever played Alberta, 83-6.
Yeah,
in the Canada Cup.
This year, ugly scores.
7-0 at halftime.
Yep.
22-0 final score.
Yep.
New Brunswick actually without 3 starting linebackers and star running back Samson Green.
Yep.
And they were still managed to play a competitive game against Alberta, beat BC, which by the way, Vancouver alone. 4 or 5 times their provincial
of course, absolutely.
So very impressive, and then to finish off with a big win against Manitoba.
Yeah, proud of the boys. There's no reason why in 5 or 10 years the girls program can't get to that level.
That's right.
So you got to keep building and keep getting positive results, and this is only day 1 against a very difficult opponent.
Very, very difficult opponent. Give is to 22, a rumbling run. My goodness, just dragging defenders with her. That is
Cameron Walker with the tackle.
Sienna Cavey and Cameron. We're hearing a lot of Cameron Walker on the defense for New Brunswick, and a whole lot of Sienna Cavey and Katie Foley on the offense for Ontario.
Yeah, Alexis Richard, number 90, got in there on that contact as well. But yeah, Cameron Walker making her case for that MVP on defense for Team New Brunswick.
That's right. All right, second, and we'll call it 3.
Pulls
Pulls it. Katie Foley
in
with plenty of
space.
real estate. She's going to take this one all the way.
Yeah, in the corner.
Unless,
The
that's
corner
a
bit.
touchdown.
So you'll see here, there's primary contain and secondary contain.
Yes.
So your primary contain comes from either your outside linebacker, the force player, or the defensive end. Your secondary contain in 6 aside is going to have to be your corner.
That corner
So you'll
linebacker.
see on the second effort that Peyton Rogers jumps inside. The one job Peyton has is to force that back inside, and unfortunately bit on a move from a very athletic Katie Foley. So you'll see right here, watch 7 jump inside and get in a trail position, and then you're not going to catch Katie
That's
Foley.
right. And unfortunately, the blitz kind of biting New
tracks there.
Brunswick in the ankles there.
I wouldn't want to take Katie Foley on in a 100-meter dash, that's
No,
for sure.
I'm losing that one 10 times out of 10.
I'm never winning it.
Even I'm talking back in my prime. I was
Yeah.
never that
No,
fast.
there's no way. No way.
Bit of confusion here on the field. New Brunswick tried to take a timeout, or... There we go. New Brunswick sorting it out. 6 players on the field.
All right, so we have ourselves end of third quarter. Team Ontario 51, Team New Brunswick 0 with a convert to come for 2.
PAT almost blocked, but it's up and it's good. That's going to make the score 53-0 for Ontario with 1 quarter remaining in our last game of the day.
Convert up and good for Team Ontario.
So very impressive, 4 for 6 for 122 yards from Isabel Berube.
That's right.
And hasn't played in the second half, so that's a first half statistic. I would argue that that's probably the most passing yards that we've seen from a quarterback.
Yeah.
Again, the game prior to this one with Team Alberta, very impressive showing from Sarah Fanyon. Honestly, out-throwing her receivers by 5 or 10 yards on 30-yard bombs. If her receivers continue to run underneath, she easily could have thrown for over 150 today.
Yeah. And if not, Sarah was definitely close to that 122 mark.
Yeah.
So I got 2 quarterbacks really making their presence felt through the air here today. Others making it felt on the ground.
Yep.
And Isabel Berube looks to do both, actually. She's also got 3 rushing attempts for 49 yards with a long of 21.
And positive on Ocean is indeed dancing around the 45-yard line. So Ocean's just
Ocean is
quite
okay,
all
Mom
right.
and
Yeah.
Dad. Yeah. Looks to be a shoulder. She's got some ice on it.
Yeah.
She'll be good to go day 2, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, the kick from Ontario. It's a
Big
deep one.
kick. That's a gorgeous
Over
kick.
the head of the returner. Brazeau looks like she'll be the one to take it.
Come inside.
Cuts
Get a
inside.
block.
Cuts back outside. Makes the defender miss, but tackled down at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, so it's happened a couple times where the kickoffs are so solid. This is the best kicker too. So
for sure.
I keep saying that, right? So this Team Ontario is in play for gold, absolutely, from this showing. The kicking game, there's nobody kicking it 40 yards. That athlete just kicked it 40 yards.
That's pretty impressive.
There's some U18 Canada Cup kickers that struggle with 40-yard kicks.
Just witnessed it last week.
Yeah, so that's very impressive.
All right,
Here we
Lundgren
go,
to
Lundgren.
throw.
Good ball out
Balls
to
out to
Brazeau.
Brazeau. Makes
Here we
a
go.
miss.
Here we go.
And runs
All
over
right,
the Ontario
Team New
defender.
Brunswick. Great job by Emmer Lundgren.
So-
And Brazeau, this is moving it. Moving
That's
the ball.
right.
Here we go. We got second and 2.
I believe.
Second and 3, sir. Second and 3. So you don't have to get fancy. If you
That's
can just
right.
get Jana, or something, a direct snap to Jana and everyone else blocks, maybe there's a package where you remove your quarterback, bring in an extra blocker. These are
That's
things I
right.
got to think about. So I'm thinking it's a quick screen over here to the left.
So here we
That's
go.
my prediction.
3 bunch formation to the field.
It is indeed a quick. Oh,
And
it's
a
QB keep.
QB
Emma
keep.
Lundgren.
Emma Lundgren
There
heading
you go, Emma.
downfield. First
All
down.
right.
Flag on the play, unfortunately.
So it's going to be a hold on
That's
Team New
right.
Brunswick, but that's nice to see. That's nice to see.
Emma Lundgren, 2 thumbs up there. She's ready to play.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's something to be said. about players keeping their composure. You're down 53-0.
Yeah.
Right? We got to remember, these are kids. These are not adults, right? The emotional regulation piece we talk about. It takes a lot to be able to stay in there with positive attitude and lead your team.
Yeah, so watch this QB draw. This is, despite the hold, whether it's a good call or not, Emma does a great job in just going.
That's
just
right.
Picking the ball up and sprinting forward.
North-south.
There's no need to wait. There's no need to hesitate. She just goes. And Emma's strength is her arm. Emma's strength is to throw it, but she's having fun out there. She's relaxed. She's letting go. She's not putting too much pressure on herself, and she's playing with some swagger, and that's nice to see.
And so
here we go. Motion to the left. Ball's out. It's there. Oh, just short. Okay, so we got 3rd and 7. All right, so there's lots of different things you can do here, whether it's skinny post, slant, you throw a deep out with a little bit of a sprint out from Lundgren. For me, it's play to the Emma's strength and let her throw the ball.
Yeah, why not? Nothing to lose here, folks. And I got to say, it makes me so happy to see Emma playing the way she's playing. Emma's come a long way. Another vet here on the team, a 3-year standout.
Yeah, this is a grade 12 senior.
That's right.
And, the reps that you get at this level prepare you for the local Fredericton League and the New Brunswick League, and it's going to just make her better. Here we go.
Little option.
It might
Jana.
work. Oh, Jana got scooped up by the corner.
Scooped up. I think that's the Cora Colts defender there. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That is number 32.
There are no lanes there. There are no lanes, folks.
Yeah.
And it's interesting if we look at the numbers across the board, and we'll try to get some more numbers on the Ontario defense for those who maybe haven't been in the game. We'll try to really look for that, depending on who the starting unit is. So 41 was out there for Ontario. Madeline Justison, not sure if we called that name yet, but in on the defense.
Yeah, I remember seeing Central Technical out of Toronto. I think she made a tackle earlier.
Yeah, but
so Foley, the quarterback.
Great opportunity to get your subs in if you're Team Ontario.
Nice screen to number 18. Big spin move. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
Making everybody miss. Number 18, very
Not giving
impressive.
Up. Micaiah Young's in there on the tackle.
Tegan Roy.
And Isabella McDonald. So between Micaiah Young and Isabella McDonald, they were able to wrap her up. But she made 2 or 3 girls look silly prior to making that tackle on defense for New Brunswick. So watch this. So missed by 1. That's Brazeau. That's no slouch. And 2 tackles there. So good job by that tandem, 23 and 12 for New Brunswick.
2nd and 5 from, I want to say, the 18-yard line. Let's see what empty set here.
Overload right.
Looks
jet.
like it's jet. Oh, it's
fake
a fake
jet.
Oh, my gosh.
Double fake jet.
I think they were good with one fake.
Can we talk about Brazeau not falling for that fake?
That's right. Great eyes there.
So, your starting running back has turned into your middle linebacker. That's just what Alexia does, right?
Well, she can do it all. I've seen her kick before. She returns. She can run the ball.
So let's watch this. So it's a fake, and then there's a double pop as if there's someone there, but doesn't fool Alexia. And Alexia's got the TFL, baby. TFL.
There it is.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got 3rd down and 10.
Are we going to see the first field goal?
Field goal from this distance, I would be very impressed. It's time to work on it if you're Team Ontario.
I want to see it.
What if you have a game winner, right?
I want to see it.
Hey,
20's
can we talk about that leg?
That
leg on kickoff. She's got the leg, so it'll be the hold. So for me, a lot of people make this mistake. They set 5 yards back.
Right.
I'm a big believer in 7. And the reason I'm a believer in 7 is it gives you that extra time to get the ball down and get the kick in the air, especially if your snapper is firing it over the holder anyway.
That's
so
right.
you might as well move them back, right? So
here's a great piece of info. Erin Foley letting us know that Katie Foley got her speed from chasing escaped chickens from the coop, letting us know that no chickens were harmed in the making of this athlete. # proud football aunt. Thank you so much, Erin, for that bit of information. No wonder Katie is flying around.
Best.
Escaped chickens.
That is literally the scene from Rocky. It's literally Rocky chasing the chicken. He goes, I look like a fool chasing this chicken. Hey, Mick, this is ridiculous out here.
Hey, Adrian! You gotta be chasing chickens out here for football training. What are we doing?
Yeah, man, I just feel ridiculous here. Come on, Mick.
Always good to have a bit of fun, especially near the end of the day. We're hooked up on Red Bulls and coffee.
And Katie Foley is chasing chickens and running back punt returns for touchdowns, throwing dimes. Great job on the RPO. Katie Foley, you are the best. Here we go. It is indeed our field goal attempt.
Now,
I would love to see this.
I might be wrong about this, but I don't know if we've had a successful field goal at this tournament. So we could be watching history.
It's a low snap. It could get blocked. It will get
blocked.
Brazeau
picks it up. Brazeau off to the races.
Oh, what a play by Alexia.
Number 20 on the tackle, Leanna.
Nick Murray is fired up.
There we go.
Here we go. So you gotta use this. So you're on the 45. You are now have an opportunity to cross over into Ontario territory. So that's the risk here, John. And she kicked the football, which is totally legal, by the way. You could kick it all the way down the field like rugby if you want to. That is a little known rule, and I don't know if Alexia knew the rule, but she didn't care. She just kicked it and said, "That is my ball." That I love. I can't wait until Nick sees that. That's a highlight of Alexia's career right there. That's one that she can add to the reel, man. That was very well done.
Here we go. Single back.
Feed Jana. There you go. So you gain about 2 or 3 yards. So you give a little bit more room. It's 3 down ball. So if you average 3 yards a play, 3 to 4, 3.5 technically, as long as you get 3.5, you're moving the chains. So that's roughly 3 right there. So you got 7 to go. Actually, yeah, that's 3. So we're 2nd and 7. Man, I'm still impressed by that Brazeau play.
That was great.
That is fantastic. I can't wait to tell Nick that she kicked it.
And it's going to be a little pitch to number 99, Cameron Walker.
Hey, again,
another
positive yards.
That's
3.
right.
You're now in 3rd and manageable. I let Lundy do her thing. 5-yard pass, just get it out into space.
That's what you're calling here?
Let Lundy throw. That's what I would do. I don't think that's what they will do, but that's what I would do.
So we heard it at the Canada Cup with the Let Hazen Cook. Are we going to hear the hashtag Let Lundy
Let
cook?
Lundy throw. Here we go. So Jana's in the backfield. If you key on Jana with a play action,
it could open things up.
It's a toss.
Toss to Jana, Ontario there from the get-go.
Again, it's not an I told you so, folks, so much as it's just the opportunity for a negative play versus a positive play. Let Lundy throw.
Let's check 11 here in Ontario. Kayleese Danielle.
Yeah, and there's an unblocked. So the reality is, hey, that's okay. It happens. But in great 2 plays prior to that for Team New Brunswick. But, hey, what about a fake toss and a throw? Or what about a play action? Get everybody keying on Jana and then toss it over the top. I think there's a couple more days of opportunity for New Brunswick to either work on their existing plays or add a couple plays that may work. Right? So it's okay. This didn't work. Let's throw it out and let's try something different. Right? So,
Ontario.
Hey, great try by New Brunswick.
Taking over at the 45. It's a run to
great tackle.
Met in the backfield by Bradley.
Yeah, great job by Bradley.
Finally finding a solution for Spadafora with the run.
Nailed it.
Right, Emma Bradley and Chloe Donovan.
All right, 2nd and 13 for Team Ontario Red. Let's see if they keep it on the ground here. Go back to Spadafora. Or will we see Katie Foley pull it?
All right, so we are 2nd and 13.
Jet motion.
Blitz off the edge by Brazeau. Brazeau's got to get outside. There she
goes.
Let's go. Flex on him.
Alexia Brazeau.
That's huge by Brazeau. Brazeau making her case for defense now.
Another tackle for loss.
Man, oh man. So it goes, Brazeau in between Brazeau and Cameron Walker, it's going to be a tough decision on defense there to decide, who's been a better player.
That's right.
I just think at first I was thinking, hey, give it to 99, and then you see Brazeau on that special teams play. That's a defensive play. You see that TFL there, and just all the other little things that Brazeau does.
Ontario lined up to punt here on the 55,
and they've sent back Peyton Rogers. So field it clean, 1 hop out of bounds. All right.
Out of bounds. Looks like we'll be starting here on the 23, 22-yard line.
Yeah.
New Brunswick will take over.
So I'm curious. I'm just wondering if a Jana McAllister or a Brazo back as punt returner might be an option. They could be gassed, honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
they've
and
been
you
running
gotta-
hard. You gotta try to throw that in there.
You got to
but-
think long term too, right?
Yeah.
If one of them go down on day one, you know
Yep,
that's
fair.
trouble for the
That's
team.
half your offense.
That's right.
All right, here we go, Lundy. Let's make something positive happen here. You got 2 minutes to go, 3 downs. Let's see if we can get into Ontario territory here and turn something positive.
Here we go.
Let's air it out.
Snaps up, jet to Jana. Nothing there again.
All right.
This Ontario defense, is so aggressive. I feel like they're in the backfield on every play.
It's time to throw in a Sarah. Easy for us to say, right? This is
That's
no
right.
criticism of the coaching staff
That's
at all.
right.
This is us playing Madden up here, folks. The coaching staff.
College football 25.
Yeah, the coaching staff has their plays. There's zero criticism here. But if I'm having fun right now and I'm trying to do something, I put a Sarah Kennedy out there and I send her on a post and I say, Lundy, just throw it to her.
That's right.
Throw it deep.
Give this to Jana McAllister, trying to find room on the
She
outside.
does
Cuts
have
back
some.
inside.
She does have some. So it's third and manageable. So get up on the line if you're Team New Brunswick and try to go at a first down. So we're third and about
Second and 8 coming up.
third and eight. Third and 8. So this is where we have. So let's see.
We have a winning ticket in the 50-50.
So the thing is they have a package in there that's not really designed to throw the football.
Right.
Right? So it's a very conservative.
And we're
effort
seeing
here.
the trips bunch here.
Yeah.
So maybe,
let's
Bobby,
see.
they're listening.
I would send Jana. I would send Jana downfield, which they are. Throw it to Jana, and they do. Dismiss. They were intending it for Cameron Walker, who's obviously a dual threat playing offense and defense.
Madeline Justison in on the pass breakup.
Yeah, good effort. So with straight time here, this will be the last play or two, probably the last play for Team Ontario. A very impressive showing. A gold medal contender. Nothing to hang your head about, Team New Brunswick. There's some valiant efforts. There's some things you can clean up, but there's a lot of positive moments in there, right? You saw Brazo on defense. Lundrigan gave them a little bit of spark on offense. And Jana, there was a couple big runs there, but overall it's fundamental blocking.
Yes.
If you can block somebody for Team New Brunswick, if you can just get your hands on a girl for a little bit longer, you're going to be able to sustain a bigger play and a bigger run.
That's right.
Defensively, too many mental errors, giving up the big play on the touchdown behind Rogers. And there was also just some contain issues on punt return. Those are things. So if you don't give up the big play for New Brunswick and you have a little bit more momentum on offense, very competitive.
Yes.
But that National Indigenous squad is hungry and ready to go.
That's right.
Can't wait for that game. And then on the other side, you've got Quebec and Ontario.
Gonna be a
Hey,
battle.
they're rivals, right? They're
That's
cross-province rivals.
Rouge versus bleu.
You got it. So, Team Quebec, very excited. Good luck in the semifinal. We will see that game. Let's go through when the games are there, John, while we have some time. So, for those who are wondering, just Google U18 National Women's Football. You'll see a list of games for Thursday, starting at 9 a.m. So it begins with the winner of Game 3 and the winner of Game 2.
Alberta versus Manitoba.
Yeah,
to
you got it.
start it
So
off.
that's our.
That's
So
gonna be
that's
awesome.
that's the what we call the gold medal semifinal.
That's right.
So
10
the
a.m.
winner of that game will go to gold. The loser will go to bronze. Then we have a loser of Game 3 against winner of Game 4. So that's the other semifinal. That would be between Quebec and Ontario Red. So the winner of that game. And then we get into the consolation round. So lots to play for all the teams. So 10 a.m. is the first semifinal on July 25th. 1 p.m. for the other semifinals. So those are the gold medal semifinals. Winner will go to gold, loser to bronze. Then at 4 o'clock, we have the consolation semifinal between Ontario Black and Saskatchewan. That'll be at 4 o'clock. And then at 7 p.m., we will have New Brunswick against National Indigenous. So the winners of those two late games will go to the 5th place game. The loser will go to the 7th place game. At the end of the day, it's like Chris Gaines said, let Emma cook, baby. Let Emma cook. We'll throw that out there, Chris Gaines. We're not biased. I definitely don't have a crush on James Lundgren or anything. So
we'll see what I realized I did not go through the New Brunswick coaching staff. Error on my part. Head coach Nick Murray, assistants Michael Manguso, Shannon Melanson, Bob Prosser, Jen Brown, Trina Graves, and mentee coach Kara Fillmore. We'll see what they do as they return to the laboratory, try to fix some errors and clean it up.
Yeah.
To see what they can bring to the battle against the National Indigenous team.
I'm excited to see the MVP choices.
Me too.
They'll come into our loudspeaker and we'll talk about each athlete. If I had to predict for New Brunswick, I would go with Jana on offense.
And probably Cameron Walker defense,
Yeah,
I think.
I would say so. The only other choice is Brazeau.
That's right. The dynamic duo of Malcolm Appleby and Josh Harris down to hand out
Here
the
we go.
hardware.
Jana
We're
McAllister
1 for
indeed
1.
was the offensive player of the game. Congratulations, Jana. Another solid performance on the national stage.
Jana must have about 5 or 6 MVP trophies.
Yeah,
now.
her parents need to just put a room in the house that's just the trophy room.
McAllister's, it's time to invest in a trophy room.
Yeah. It'll pay dividends.
Hey,
there we go. It's like
Cameron Walker,
the
defensive
two
player
blind
of the game.
squirrels finding an acorn.
That's
up
right.
here. All right. So predictions on offense. I would go Berube on offense. That's
Let's see here. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Berube
Berube,
offense.
man.
Defense.
Here we go. Hey,
I'm
let's
going favorite.
Hey. Okay. Let's see if we go 4 for 4.
I'm gonna go. It's got to be Favor Ebenecki or Kellyanne Sterling Godou.
Yeah, Sterling Godou was unreal.
But she
I'm
did not
going
play
Sterling
much the
Godou.
second
Yeah,
half.
it's the second half. Here
Let's
we
go Favor. Let's go Favor Ebenecki.
Okay, I'm going Sterling Godou. I'm
Okay.
branching out. Here
All
we
right,
go.
there we go. We covered.
We
the
can't
two
both
bases.
win. Can't both win.
Ontario defensive player of the game, number 41, Madeline Justice.
Yeah, you know what? We mentioned her
the
name
dark
a few
horse.
times. She was all over the place,
dark
whether it was making
horse.
tackles, pass
Yeah.
breakups.
It's really hard, folks, for that defense because every single
Everybody
girl
contributed.
made every single athlete on that team made a contribution to the team.
I feel like every
It was
tackle,
6. You could have given it to everyone. It's just
Could've.
Team Ontario defense,
That's
right?
right.
So just before we sign off here, folks, if just from my observations for the day, we saw a historic win for National Indigenous. We saw an offense that featured Taj Marie Thompson, who is arguably the most athletic game changer in the whole tournament. You could absolutely make a case first team All-Star for the way that she played. On defense, we saw Saint Amand for Ontario. Just absolute beast mode. Like any team would be lucky to have Saint Amand on their team. Then in our second game, John, we saw a Manitoba Wall. The Manitoba Wall,
defense,
right?
let me tell
yeah,
you.
the three-headed monster.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was
Mary Grace.
Yeah, Mary Grace.
Making people pay on that offense.
Mary Grace, Isabel Campbell, and Peyton Tursky.
That's right.
So the sisterhood of Tursky. So the reality is that Manitoba team was someone that was
big step up from Manitoba.
They
from
were a
last
wall.
year.
So
crazy.
it reminded me a lot of what we just saw. So we'll get into that in a moment. On the other side, Saskatchewan came out really hot, and they've got the tandem of number 9 at quarterback, right?
We were saying around Crenshaw. We're just working through our paperwork here. We've collected a lot of game sheets over the 4 games we've called.
Yeah, so Team Saskatchewan, Schenner. So
Schenner.
Ella Schenner, right, under my Ella
I
Schenner.
think if Saskatchewan wants to see more success on offense, they're going to have to find some variety to pepper in on that offense.
Yeah, so
all things cannot go through Schenner.
Yeah, so between Schenner, if they can get Prasovsky involved, she had some burst, and there was a lot of things that Saskatchewan looked to be the team that has the highest ceiling.
Yes,
they just underachieved today. Quebec, we talked about that story. It was really a tale of not being able to snap the football. But my goodness, if you think about Tambo, right, on offense, you think about Adige on offense. On defense, they had Rondeau, right, the 14-year-old from Quebec.
And Patron.
Patron leading the charge at quarterback and running for all those yards. So Quebec, again, a team that underachieved but has a high ceiling.
That's right.
And then we get into our last game, right? Team Alberta. Can't forget Team Alberta.
Yeah.
So on Team Alberta, we have, in my opinion, the best quarterback play we've seen was from Sarah Fagnan.
Potentially the best ball carrier too.
Honestly, there was
Bowers and Holaki. I mean,
oh yeah. Geez. And then on defense, the standout Lacey Muth. was all
Yes.
over the field for Team Alberta. Team Alberta, you got your top three. If we had to rank them, it's hard to gauge just depending on the New Brunswick opponent for Team Ontario. Very impressive showing no matter what.
Right.
But it's really hard. We'll know in the semis how good Ontario really is. But, for me, it's Alberta, right? It's Manitoba and Ontario.
Are we doing just defenses here?
I'm
Just
thinking
overall?
Just overall, Alberta to me is the favorite just from day one. I feel like Alberta has the most overall to offer, and then I think Manitoba and Ontario, and then Quebec only today played like the fourth team.
That's right.
They played like the fourth team. That doesn't mean they are the fourth team. They
So
just played like
I'll go a little different here, Bobby. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, Ontario Red's my favorite to win the tournament.
Okay.
Alberta, a very close second. No disrespect to the Alberta team.
Yep.
Defending champs, you can't write them off, but I really saw, something special with this Ontario Red team. Now, Manitoba, I'll put them in
It's that
third
defense.
right
That
now.
defense is going to keep them in the game.
Nuts.
Yeah, if that defense keeps teams in a low-scoring game, because their matchup. You got to remember that their matchup in the semifinal, right? It's about keeping the score low.
That's right.
If they can keep the score low, they have a chance.
Yeah.
Right? And they held a Saskatchewan team to 8 points, which is by far, with the exception of New Brunswick, scoring not able to score today. But with the exception of New Brunswick, Saskatchewan had 8 points, and that's because of that iron wall on Manitoba. So I think that Manitoba can bottle up in the semifinal. And then we have Ontario Red facing Team Quebec. Right?
So I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I like to make them bold.
Yep.
I'm going to say Manitoba wins the semifinal, goes to its first ever gold medal game, and plays against Ontario Red. But I think they'll come up short against the explosive offense of Ontario Red.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, folks, for Bobby McIntyre and John Wilkinson. Thank you so much for your support today, and we'll see you on Thursday at 10 a.m. for our first semifinal.
Looking forward to it. Good night.